Hey, I'm Shalonda Gordon, also known as the Online Marketing Angel or a single mom touched by God's grace. And today I want to talk to you about accountability. Okay, so I'm doing this little series for parents and how we can possibly bring things together for our children and ourselves in our household. And one thing I found is accountability is serious. Now, when you're watching these videos, please feel free to comment and let me know what you're thinking as far as parents, what you're finding your experiences are. If you try these activities, what exactly happens, if it's good, if it's bad, because ultimately I can only give you my experiences, but when we all come together with all of our experiences, it makes all of us better parents, right? So accountability, this is for moms and dads, all right? Whoever is taking care of the kids, if you're a single mom, you're a single dad, or you're married and you share responsibility, this is something you all need, we all need. You must give yourself at least 10 to 5 to 10 minutes every day of alone time. Just you and yourself. You and your God, you and your thoughts. Okay? And during this time, I always recommend you have a mirror handy so you can look at yourself. So you can really begin to spend time with yourself and speak to yourself. During this 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes it might go to 15, but I always say start with at least 5, especially if you're not used to giving yourself some time apart from everybody else. If you're not used to setting that time apart, you might have to get up earlier in the morning before everybody wakes up. So if your first thought is, I don't have the time, well, make time. One of my pastors always said, grown folk do what grown folk want to do. So be grown and make time for yourself. Okay? You're a parent and you need this. So take 5 to 10 minutes, set it aside, look in the mirror. You're going to tell yourself two things. You're going to talk about two things during this time. You're going to talk about your weaknesses as well as your strengths. You must be willing to acknowledge both. Okay? We all have both. So you can acknowledge your weaknesses. What I might do is I'll say, in business, Shalonda, you could have handled that conversation a little better. Or, when you were on the internet and you were responding, you could have responded a little differently than that one. You might have been able to answer that one a little differently. Or I might simply say, Shalonda, you could have handled the situation with Chloe, my youngest daughter, or with Catherine, my oldest daughter. You could have handled that better. You could have talked to them a little bit more about that situation. You could have given them a little bit more compassion about the situation. You could have done some things differently. I look at myself and I'm honest with myself. Now, on the flip side, there'll be some bonuses. You know what, Shalonda? You're not really a chef, but you cooked that Cornish hen last night and you put your foot in it. It was good. It was good. The kids loved it. Everybody was feeling good. They ate good. It was good. Pat yourself on the back, right? Some strengths, things like that. You did good with business today. Great business day. You brought in income, good stuff, right? So these things are things that we need to do every day. When you acknowledge your own faults and your own strengths, it allows you to have more compassion when you see faults in your children. Now, I know each of us all gave birth to perfect children. Right. I understand that. Yet, we still need to have compassion for what they're going through and what's going on with them. And when you can acknowledge your own strengths and your own faults, it simply makes it easier. It simply makes it easier to do it. And that's really not just with your children, but with anybody. When you can hold yourself accountable for your weaknesses and your strengths, it's a lot easier to understand that other people have weaknesses and strengths as well. And it causes us not to be as judgmental, not to judge as much, because we realize, well, somebody's putting up with my crap. Surely I can put up with somebody else's for a little while. Surely, right? And especially if that's my child. Okay, especially if that's my child. When you sit in the morning, you take time out to reflect on your weaknesses and your strengths. When you're listening to your children, you might not butt in as much. You might listen a little bit more so you can hear the whole story. Because as you begin to spend time holding yourself accountable for your own weaknesses and strengths and talking to yourself about it and saying, I could handle this better. Well, how could you have handled it better? Oh, I might have done this, that, and this. Okay. And what do you think the results would have been if you had done it that way? You'll start to have conversations with yourself in the mirror about how you can improve on those weaknesses. So when your children are talking about their weaknesses and things they've fallen short on, you might tend to listen more and maybe ask questions to get more information instead of just kind of barking at them or just kind of coming at them. You'll more or less begin to inquire, ask questions. Okay. Just want to think about accountability. Take time for yourself. You deserve it. It's going to help. If you find that, Shauna, I feel you, I ain't got time. I don't have 5-10 minutes. I got work. I got this. I got that. I got that. If you honestly don't have any time for yourself, I recommend you consider taking some time and creating an income online like I've done. One reason why I'm able to have this type of time to concentrate on my children and maybe take some time to evaluate myself and how to improve things in my household and really focus and see what's going on in my household and feel the energy in my household is because I work from home. It's because I generate income off the internet where I basically I'm my boss. I'm my own boss. Therefore, the level of stress that I deal with and the way my time is managed, broken down, is something I determine. If that's something you're interested in, if you're ready to break free, I always call it breaking free. I consider myself a freedom fighter, right? If you want to break free, click the link below. Click the link below. Just gather some information. Information never hurt anybody. Yet prepare, because obviously with this video, accountability is a big deal, in my family and in my life. So, when we're talking, sometimes I might say, hey, when's the last time you looked in the mirror? Right? When was the last time? So just something to consider. Click the link below. Have an amazing day and keep smiling.